As diplomacy churns behind closed doors, Moscow is drawing a hard red line. Russia says it will not accept a pause in the war, not even for elections, not even for Christmas. Deputy Foreign Minister Ryabkov also brushed aside questions about Ukrainian elections, repeating Moscow's position that Ukraine's current leadership lacks legitimacy and insisting Russia will not shape its military decisions around political calendars in Kyiv or elsewhere.
At the foreign ministry level, are there any developments?
In your own opinion right now?
Slow progress is being observed, and I want to reiterate that it is accompanied by extremely harmful and malicious attempts by an influential group of states to torpedo these efforts and to completely derail the corresponding diplomatic process. It is necessary to resist this. We call upon the American administration to more actively oppose this. We are prepared to continue our work within the framework that was defined in Anchorage. So, leaders defined them and they remain fully relevant. Several recent rounds of contact with US representatives confirm that the US administration continues to operate precisely within these parameters set in Anchorage. This is important. And this is the foundation on which we must now proceed.
Ukrainian authorities have permitted elections to take place amidst ongoing hostilities. A crucial question is how to guarantee the safety of the vote.
Moscow considers Ukraine's current leadership illegitimate. In this regard, would Moscow permit a temporary ceasefire during Ukrainian elections so that the legitimate leadership could be elected there?
I am not prepared to discuss a temporary ceasefire. Our position is well known. We are not calling for a temporary cessation of fire. We advocate for a sustainable end to hostilities within the framework of an agreement that will guarantee a solution to the problems that are the root causes of this conflict and which will guarantee the constitutional order of the Russian Federation, taking into account those decisions that have been adopted in the relevant territories by the population of these territories in recent years. Temporary ceasefire is not the kind of arrangement that would truly allow us to make progress. I wouldn't want to speculate right now about what kind of timelines or specific countries might be involved. We must work with focused effort, and this is being carried out on the basis of the understanding for an agreement which has been discussed over the past few days, specifically during the meeting in Florida, and was initially laid out by the presidents when they held their meeting in Anchorage, Alaska.
That message triggered an immediate response from Ukraine's president. Volodymyr Zelensky called Russia's refusal of even a symbolic ceasefire a bad signal, saying it shows Moscow has no genuine interest in diplomacy.
The unfortunate thing is that, for example, Germans and Americans, they really wanted to make a Christmas truce or a Christmas ceasefire. Not that it's the end of the war, but it's always a signal that the sides want to find some diplomatic solution and movement. I believe it's a bad signal, and there's nothing new in the fact that the Russians jumped out and immediately said, no, we don't want anything like that. The point isn't that they don't want it, that's clear to us. The problematic issue here is that when Russia says there will be no Christmas truce, I believe that in principle everything they say is always meant to emphasize these kinds of threats and intimidation. Well, it's quite typical of them to do this on Christmas because, you know, precisely on our very own Christmas day, yes indeed, to launch some kind of massive strike, and that's why I wanted to mention, well, today we had a meeting about this. And the number one issue was air defense, the protection of our cities, villages, our communities, especially the 23rd, 24th, 25th. We need to pay attention to this. The military itself must pay attention, protecting as they can.
Everything is very complicated because the air defense system deficit, it is unfortunately present, and people really need to pay very, very close attention to everything these days.
All of this unfolds as diplomats quietly shuttle between meeting rooms in southern Florida. In Miami, U.S. and Ukrainian envoys described talks as productive and constructive, but offered no sign of a breakthrough. The discussions are part of a broader push following Washington's proposed 28-point peace framework, a plan widely seen as reflecting key Russian demands, later reworked with Ukrainian and European input. Behind the scenes, U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff met separately with Ukrainian negotiators, European advisors, and Russian envoy Kirill Dmitriev in parallel tracks of diplomacy that remain far apart. The Kremlin has already rejected recent revisions to the plan, with President Vladimir Putin's spokesperson calling them unacceptable. Dmitriev is now expected to brief Moscow on what, if anything, can move forward. Ukraine is pleading for signals of peace. Russia is demanding permanent guarantees. And between calls for truces and warnings of strikes, the war grinds on, with no ceasefire in sight.
Esteemed Ukrainian men and women, our negotiating team is already returning today after a meeting in America with representatives of President Trump. Tomorrow morning, I'm expecting a full report concerning all the documents that have been prepared. A lot of work has been done, and first and foremost, the documents on security guarantees, as well as the 20 points of the main document for the basic framework, which was discussed by the Ukrainian and American delegations. Rustem Umerov and Andriy Khnatov are scheduled to deliver their reports tomorrow. It is critically important that the American side be able to obtain a clear and definitive response from Russia, demonstrating a genuine willingness for that nation to concentrate its efforts on something entirely different rather than on its ongoing aggression. Naturally, after so many years since the start of the hybrid war, now a full-scale one, it's hard to believe that Putin could live without committing murders and launching invasions. But the significant drop in the price of Russian oil, powerful global sanctions, and the continuation of all other forms of pressure, these are the things that will ultimately convince even such a stubborn individual. Putin wages war as long as he has money to buy loyalty from his inner circle and the Russian people, and to pay for the killings on the front. And this year, much has been done to ensure the Russian war machine has less money. I am grateful to all our soldiers for their deep strikes. Almost every single day now, we are seeing tangible results. And this is particularly evident in the deep strikes targeting Russia's oil export infrastructure. It's good that the European Union, America, and other partners are putting pressure on Russian gas and oil exports. Tankers that Russia employs to generate revenue for its war and to sustain Putin's close associates are now more frequently experiencing difficulties within critical maritime zones. New global sanctions will also be imposed against tankers and the entire infrastructure involved in such exports, companies, insurers, captains, and their crews. Undoubtedly, we are also preparing our own new sanction packages targeting various individual and not exclusively Russian ones who are actively working for the aggressor's defense industry. And our sanction proposals are consistently taken into careful consideration by our international partners. This stands as one of the key priorities within our foreign policy to ensure that Ukrainian sanctions are fully synchronized with those of our international partners. Today, I outlined these very tasks for Ukrainian diplomats. I congratulated them on their professional day. I thanked everyone who genuinely works for our foreign policy on ensuring Ukraine's effectiveness in foreign affairs, because this is now one of the foundations of our defense. The true power of Ukraine is its unity with the entire world. And at this very moment, we have achieved the highest possible level of this unity. Never before in its entire history has Ukraine received such strong support from its partners as it has during this period. Achieving this level of support was not an easy task, just as it is not easy, month after month, to continuously secure and maintain the world's attention on Ukraine. Despite everything, we have not allowed Ukraine to be forgotten, nor have we permitted other pressing topics and global problems to overshadow the crucial attention given to Ukraine. The societies of our international partners continue to steadfastly support us, our sovereign state, and our ongoing defense efforts. This unwavering support is profoundly significant. It truly provides us with the essential strength and resilience needed for our continued defense. Today, I also had the distinct honor to express my gratitude to our Ukrainian energy workers, to all our heroes who are literally overcoming Russia every single day with their dedicated work, restoring power generation, restoring vital supplies, and restoring normal life for all Ukrainians. And indeed, Ukraine can truly be proud of the high professionalism of our energy sector employees. Thank you. One more thing. Today we spoke with Ruslan Stefanchuk, the chairman of Ukraine's parliament. Among other things, I asked Ruslan, along with the parliamentary core, government officials and civil society representatives, to prepare proposals for new and logical approaches to the festive and special days in our calendar. There are unfortunate calendar coincidences, and the war has introduced many such significant changes. When days of tragedy coincide with professional holidays, or when dating back to Soviet times and the early years of independence, several entirely distinct professional days fall on a single date. All of this needs to be properly organized. We extend our sincere gratitude to everyone who will be assisting us. Just as the authentic celebration of Christmas was smoothly adopted on December 25th, similarly, all other significant dates must also be just and accurate. Our heartfelt thanks go out to all those who tirelessly serve our nation and its citizens.
Glory be to Ukraine.